Karen Debs with FlexibleWarrior.com, and today we're going to talk a little bit about some basic principles that you can apply from yoga into your sports practices, your game days, your competitions, your race days. Alright, so there's 5 basic principles, and we're going to start with talking about intention. So the difference between yoga and a lot of your other training sessions is this very principle of setting an intention. So at the beginning, just like when you have a goal for a training session, setting an intention more is about how you want to feel. So when you're on your yoga mat and you're in your practice, choosing a word that reinforces how you want to feel. That is an essential element to helping you train in a more focused way, both on your yoga mat and off of your yoga mat, so you can apply it onto the field. So I'd really encourage you to take a moment to kind of think about some things that challenge you and how you want to feel opposite of that. So maybe you get race day jitters. So if you want to feel calm, you want to feel connected, you want to feel focused, whatever it is, take the time to choose a word or two that reinforces how you want to feel and really set that intention. So when you step on your yoga mat, know that that's what you're going to practice for today, okay? And tomorrow it could be a completely different intention. In addition to that, just make sure that you commit to your practice. So the thing that makes us better as athletes is practice, commitment, consistency. And so intention and committing to that intention over time is what's going to get you results both on your yoga mat and off. The second thing is breathing. And really, you can kind of put the breathing before the intention because it's that important. It gets forgotten a lot in a yoga practice, so a lot of times athletes in general really want to get to those challenging yoga classes that really kind of push them, make them sweat, or maybe they're even in high heat, and they forget the essential element of just breathing. Because ultimately, the practice of yoga should teach us to just be still. And our bodies are always in motion. It's really hard for us to stay still. But really, ultimately, that's what we're learning, or what we're ultimately trying to practice, being still and just breathing. Breathing as it's a non-thinking thing. It's just going to happen for you naturally, but you also have control of it. And when you can control your breathing, you can control how your mind is reacting, how your body's reacting, and you can give yourself a little split second in between something happening and you reacting, where you can react in the way that you want to. So breathing should be in and out through the nose, it should be slow, it should be calm, it should be smooth, and it should be a priority. So a lot of times you'll hear me say, I've said this before, we hear survival of the fittest, and a lot of times it is the fittest and the strongest and the fastest that win. But in addition to that, it's very often survival of the calmest. Who can be the most resilient, the most present, and react the way that they really want to react in a challenging moment? And that comes back to your breathing. So that's basic principle number 2. The next is alignment. And so when we talk about alignment, yeah, we're talking about yoga poses. We're talking about aligning your shoulders to your wrists to your elbow, okay, and align in a pose, like maybe you're in plank pose. Your hips to your knees to your ankles. You know, your ears to your shoulders to your hips. All of those things should be in beautiful alignment in order to protect yourself. But in addition to that, you want alignment with your thoughts and your actions. And so that comes back to intention and to breathing. And so if you're in a pose and you're really struggling to breathe, you're struggling to stay focused, it really comes back to alignment. Align your thoughts and your actions. And that will really apply then to your sports too. So yes, alignment in your poses is a key element, but alignment in your thoughts and your actions, really, really key. And in addition to that, if you practice yoga a lot, we talk about the bandhas, or engaging the abdominal wall and the pelvic floor. And so this is really key as well. Have a yoga teacher teach you about the bandhas and how to engage those. And that will help you with your balance. It will help you stay present with your breathing and in your body. So that's basic element or basic principle number 3. The next is what I like to call the edge. And you'll hear this a lot in yoga classes. And really what that means is that it's that fine line or that middle point. So yeah, you're a warrior, but you want to be flexible too. So you want to find that balance between So you're used to being aggressive, you're used to really pushing very hard, but you also want to have that element of surrender and letting go. So it's the middle line. It's the point between overdoing and hurting yourself or pushing too far, and of course working beneath your potential or doing less than what you know you can do, and of course we don't want that either. So we want that middle line where you can be in a pose, or you can be in a practice, and you can be challenging your limits, but at the same time accepting and embracing, and really just knowing that you're doing your best, but you're going to protect yourself first and foremost. Because, as I like to say, if you're injured, if you're a wounded warrior, so to speak, it's going to be a lot harder for you to do your best on your game day if you're going to push yourself to injury. So protect yourself first. When you get on your yoga mat, try not to be competitive. Don't be that competitive athlete. Surrender a little bit, let go a little bit, find your edge, and that means not going over your edge. Less is more sometimes, okay? And then lastly, the basic principle is recovery and resting. And so this is a really key element. We're so used to pushing forward, always challenging to get stronger and to get faster and to be better than the next athlete that we're competing against. And so a really key element is making it essential with your training to restore, to use techniques like massage, Kihara, which is a technique that I do that is assisted stretching, really, really nice, because a lot of times athletes don't want to stretch on their own, so it's nice to have someone work with them and stretch them. Flexibility is power. So the more that your range of motion is, the more that you'll have power within that range of motion. So it's really, really key that you practice flexibility, you practice recovery. Shavasana is everyone's favorite pose when I'm teaching a class for team sports, and everyone's just so excited to get to Shavasana or resting at the end. And so the reason why is you earn that. You should sleep really, really well. If you're not sleeping well, then that's a sign of overtraining. So just be really in tune for that, and make sure that you're making a priority to get massages, to treat your body well. It's essential as hydrating it and fueling it with good foods. Rest, sleep, massage, recovery, flexibility, and the Shavasana pose, of course, at the end of your final relaxation, at the end of your yoga practice. If you skip that, a lot of times real type A people, they're like, I don't need that pose. That's not doing anything. I'm lying still. What's that doing? That's a mentality. A lot of people will literally leave before Shavasana because they don't want to sit still. You need to learn to be still and let your body completely recover, and on a very deep cellular level, all of the poses that you do before Shavasana, final relaxation, that really integrate into your body during that pose of stillness, all right? So those are 5 basic principles that you can apply to your sports, to your practices, your game day, when you're on the field and off the field. No matter what your sport, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, or if you're a runner or a triathlete, those basic principles can really apply if you practice them. So I encourage you to get back into your yoga classes and do it with consistency, patience, perseverance, practice, practice, practice. Just like all of your other things. When you practice it, you will get there over time. Okay? So if you have any questions whatsoever or special requests, please email me at Karen@flexiblewarrior.com. There's full-length DVDs available at flexiblewarrior.com and at spinnerholes.com. And I look forward to your requests. So email me, text me, Facebook me, or send me a message on Twitter. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Namaste.